shit.
Boom. We're live. Hello, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome
It's
to FastTrack
Friday.
Feedback
Fast.
Fridays. I don't know
Yes.
about you guys, but we're in fucking Central time zone, and it's fucking dark already. 5:30.
Yeah. I mean, today is December 17th. There's only 4 days until the days start to get longer again.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
like the minimum.
Yeah,
The
the
shortest days.
winter solstice is December 21st. So
There you go, guys. Knowledge.
after that, it's going to start getting brighter, which is good.
Late Gorsh. I can't wait.
Yes, everybody get your vitamin D supplements
Love
out.
Dizzle. Mhm.
We'll all do them together. There was apparently been a few studies that vitamin D is a really good predictor of COVID illness. If you have really low vitamin D levels, you're way more likely to be hospitalized.
Oh shit.
Hospitalized, yeah.
I think
So
that's like in terms of vitamins, as far as they go, that's like the most common that people are going to be deficient in.
yeah, I mean, it's
Vitamin
like a
D.
huge percentage of people are deficient in it, but it can cause a lot of problems, especially immune function.
Mhm.
Vitamin D and zinc. Zinc can help stop virus cell reproduction sometimes. So
Sheesh.
I swear by like emergency, like that stuff. Whenever I feel like a cold coming on,
Ooh,
I just
airborne.
yeah, that's similar too. Just take
Mhm, mhm.
2 a day or whatever, and then get rest. And like I would say 70% of the time, I don't get sick if I take some vitamin C. Hey, Ches bro, what's up? I
Chest
hope
bro in the chat already.
hope
Hey
you're
yo,
taking
Fire Boys
vitamin
keep
D as
killing it.
well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
vitamin
my
D nuts.
booster.
Let's go, chest. No, I'm just kidding.
I got my booster today, so hopefully I don't have any. Hopefully I don't
Oh
die during the
fuck.
stream.
Great, yeah.
Did you have any side effects last week?
No, I don't think so. My arm was sore, and then the next day I was just like unproductive. But I think that was for just because I got like drunk or something. So
Other
or I
reasons, yeah,
partied or something. Yeah. So I
sure,
was just, yeah. Whenever I'm hungover, that shit happens.
yeah.
But
Shameless. Well, not. It's not even a plug for me, so there's no shame involved. But Group Chat has a show. They have their second show
let's
on
go, group
Sunday.
chat. Near.
That'll be cool. Some people from the Data Waves, I think, should probably be there.
Oh, that's crazy.
A bunch of U of I people, I think, are supposed to be there. So
Are
that'll
they
be
in
cool.
Chicago?
Yeah. I
Is that
just
with
saw some of them
Kokomono
yesterday.
too, or?
No, that one's not. But Data Waves is doing a show with Kokomono in a week or two, or in 2 weeks or something like that.
Got you.
So that should be dope. But yeah,
Crazy.
Group Chat. They right now they have like 15,000 monthly listeners on Spotify or something.
Mm. What the
They
fuck?
got
Oh
some.
yeah, that's right. Dude, we
Yeah, they
gotta
got
ask
some
them to
good.
like come on and be like, "What the fuck did you do?" Because they blew
Yeah.
up. That's awesome.
Well, to sort of summarize, I mean, they basically they know a guy who was able to playlist them well.
For sure.
That's really what it was on Spotify,
That
which is
could
super.
be.
It's great.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, and their show is selling out and stuff, so that's
that's
good for them
awesome.
too.
I wonder if we can get that guy that they know then, the playlister.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, to be affiliated in some way, that'd be cool.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. Chespro, do you have anything? Use the form. We'd love to
Yeah,
hear it. I guess we can check the email too, but do you want to get started with our first track actually?
yeah.
Or
Chesbro,
actually,
please, don't email it, please.
it breaks our stream.
I don't
Although
think there's anything in the email. I don't think I've gotten anything.
okay, although Josh did get a new computer, so we're hoping that Lightstream is not going to break down on us. But yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see.
the email isn't related to that, thank God. But yeah,
Mhm,
it's
mhm. Just anything goes wrong.
anyhow. Yeah,
But okay,
really.
I'll go ahead and read the queue. We have Alexis Laurent, Vega Venera. Okay, so Vega Venera, I'll go by artist name, is first. Then we have Taylor Bands with a Z. We got OK Jeremy. We got Yar, like a pirate. And then Jokerhead. That is our current queue. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could probably fit maybe 2 to 3 more. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you guys have anything, go ahead and submit it. And yeah, we'll let you know. But okay, do you want to go Vega Venera first?
Yeah, let's do it. So
Okay.
the song is called "In Love with Who You Were." It's on the
Yep.
screen there. And I don't think we have a description, right?
Nope, no description, and I think it's a finished release.
Yes, finished release.
All right, without further
All right,
ado, let's do
let's
it.
play it.
In love
3,
with you.
2, 1, play it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Does it
Ooh.
hurt when
Dude, is this synthwave with vocals? Finally?
Yeah.
think about you and I'm in love with who you were before we met,
That kick and snare.
before we met.
Take
'Cause
her a
you're
little
not
grating.
quite the same. Now that you know my name, I'm in love with who you were before we met.
Big sound.
I can't forget.
Nice. Like that chord change.
I like that new instrument. Ooh, Tom.
Killer groove.
Can you try to forget
That's a cool sound.
that I made you so different? I'm in love with who you were before we met. I'm so upset, but you got what you wanted. You were contaminated. I'm in love with who you were before we fucked up.
Ooh, nice change. I like this part. Oh, I
Wow.
finished much earlier than you did. Okay.
Yeah, I was pressing on the
I
wrong
love that
start
end
button
part.
there.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Love the ending
Man.
part. That was Vega Venera, In Love with Who You Were, finally. So recently we got a lot of influx of synthwave. Shout out to everybody. Jokerhead, Clintone, telling all the friends. And I wonder if Vega also knows these guys too. But
Yeah.
a lot of the time we're like, oh, it's a little bit of repetitive and there's not really a top line to listen to. We'd love to listen to like maybe vocals or at least have like a Carpenter Brute-esque change up. I think this guy is probably the closest to Carpenter
This
Brute
guy gets
style.
it. Yeah.
I think he does. I do have some comments on the mix for the most
Yeah.
part, but
Sure.
yeah, I think this was really solid. What
Yeah.
do you think, Josh?
No, I totally agree. I mean, I think of this is one of the more like professional sounding
Yep.
songs that we've heard, I think, in a little while.
Yep.
And for me, like one of the things that stands out a lot in that I mean, immediately the thing that stands out is the kick and the snare just sound like, oof,
Punchy.
so good. Yeah, so punchy. They've got the meat in the right places. Like that was really good.
The toms
Um,
too, even when they came in. Do, 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 do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Lots of, I mean, the sound choices just, sound and feel professional,
Mm,
but I think that the writing is also like fairly professional. Like I think the lyrics are like, phrased in a way that's not like awkward.
yeah.
In most, like I didn't have any thought like, oh, these are like amateurish like lyrics or the way that they're strung together. It sounded like,
Mhm.
yeah, like this could be a professional, legit charting song or whatever.
Yeah.
I also like those chord changes a lot. Like in the chorus, he could have just gone back and forth between those two chords. The I don't want to do the theory in my head, but like then it goes to that other one that kind of has that resolve, that major resolve
Mhm,
to it, and
mhm,
that's really refreshing, right? It makes it like not so stagnant, or it's more dynamic.
mhm,
So I liked that a lot. I just
mhm.
think that overall, well structured song, well put together, maybe just a little bit on the long end,
Yep,
right?
yep.
There is a lot of
Dude, I
melodic
wanted that change up
repeat.
earlier.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of melodic repeat, and uh, it goes on, for almost 4 minutes. So
Yep.
I think it could be a little bit shorter. And I honestly think that the parts that do vary a little bit, we're not like feeling as much of the variation as we could be because of the mastering,
The
right?
mastering.
So
Yep.
so I think in my opinion, I think the mix is probably okay, but the mastering is the issue.
Little heavy on the
And
highs.
yeah, and in the opposite of the way that you often find it, like, often it'll be not loud enough or it'll be muddy or whatever, but with this kind of thing, yeah, the highs and I really think the highs are usually a symptom of just, like, over compression or over limiting.
Yep.
You're basically getting distortion, and distortion is mostly high frequency content.
I see.
It's like all of the errors, all of the little bits that get sort of crushed, and those are
Mhm,
like single points, and so
mhm,
they're like very small, tight waveforms that distortion results in generally.
mhm,
Um, so yeah, I mean that's my main issue is that the dynamics are not really there, right?
mhm,
Uh, like especially in the choruses and whatever, that it's just kind of flatlined.
mhm,
And then even the quieter sections, they don't dip much in volume at all because it's still so compressed, and it
mhm.
just feels like it's one level the whole time. Versus
Yep.
just dial back your limiting compression on the master bus a little bit, and
Brick wall.
we'll get more of that sort of breathing
Mhm,
that makes it feel more alive and makes it
mhm.
more engaging for the whole duration of the song.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting you say breathing because I do hear them trying to do that kind of sidechain effect where it's like,
yeah.
"Bah, bah, bah," and if you
Mhm.
follow what Josh is saying, like just tone it back on the limiter a little bit, you'll give even more space
Yeah.
for that to happen. So,
And those sidechain things can be so, like, visceral, sort of, you know what I mean? Like,
oh
when there's
yeah,
a really good sidechain that just sort of,
Seven
like, the
Lions, Flume, yeah,
yeah, like, the curve is just right, it sort of, like, pulls your ears out of your head for a second, like,
yeah, it makes you do
those
like this with your ears.
yeah, those require a lot of allowing dynamic range and not everything just being brick walled.
Yep.
I don't know if this is correct, I don't know if Alexis is here, but, um this has me thinking that maybe a possibility is that either ozone or lander or something like that were used on this
Hmm.
because a lot of those automatic mastering things uh, tend to over compress and over limit a little bit, and when
Hmm.
you hear the AB, you're like, wow, it's like so much louder and better, but usually there's issues with like either specific frequency ranges being over compressed or just across the board over limiting
Hmm.
over compression. So
I feel triggered
man,
because I like to use isotope and ozone. But
no, I use it too. I mean, you just have to use it carefully and sort of not like get excited off of the first result always. And I know it's like it gets louder and maybe like the low end sounds fuller or something. And you're like, yeah, like
Mhm,
it's ready, but you got to be like critically examining like specific elements and then like
mhm,
A Bing and making sure that everything sounds good rather
yep,
than just like the whole picture maybe sounds better in some ways, but then you're
mhm,
losing other elements. So
mhm, mhm.
do we want to do scores?
Yeah, let's do it. I kind of liked. I just wanted to add the lyrics thing. So
Uh-huh.
I was thinking to myself that there's a lot of cliche lyrics and stuff nowadays. I'm mostly a hip hop person, so I get really excited when some like weird lyrics happen. And I and there is a difference between weird and unique lyrics versus amateurish.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so like one of the things where I think one of the lines was like, "I loved you before you fucked up." Like it was like it was like a hanging thing like that. I
Yeah,
really
those
liked
are good.
I
Those are
thought that
smart.
was I thought that was cool. But anyways, vibes. Yeah, I think this is as close as Carpenter Brut as we got so far, which I like. I do think that you know, I the test of if it's too repetitive is for me when I when I look at the timeline to see if this is over yet, and I looked at that around 2 minutes. But yeah, for vibe, I think general score, I think it's green. I think it's solid. I think you nailed the sound. I think most of my gripes is production. The arrangement, similar. It's like 80% green, pretty much green all the way there. I would just say make the change up uh, earlier, maybe around the 2 minute mark, because that's when I got bored. I don't know when you got bored, Josh.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
because
it was
that
around there.
change up was fantastic. I thought it was awesome. I do think in general the mix was brickweld, which leads me to my production aspect. I would say it's like 50% away between green and yellow. Just because if I was an engineer on this, and if I was the mastering engineer, I would take another swing at it. But in general, I would say that it was just a little brickwalled, a little loud, and absolutely no dynamics, which is I give it kind of a pass for electronic music these days. But yeah, it was heavy on the high frequencies. Some of it, and because it was so heavy, some of the instruments when they came in was a little grating. So I commented on the shaker when that came in. It was a little grating. Some stuff in the drop, a lot of the bass synths were a little grating to listen to. But yeah, I think my overall is it's pretty much good to go. It's pretty much green. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, no, I pretty much read my mind on those. I mean, vibes, love it. Sounds great. Really good groove, right? Like
Mhm.
it's that kind
Punchy.
of, yeah, like a little bit of swing to it or something that kind of just keeps it driving. Really good. So green on that front. For content, same thing. I think it was around the 2 minute mark where it just starts to feel a little bit repetitive. I'm like, where is this going? Even liking it a lot, right? And maybe it was partly even just because the high frequencies and things were so compressed, and you can get that does cause ear fatigue. But it also could just be that there is a lot of repetition, and the groove pretty much stays the same. So you might want
Mhm.
to look into that a little bit. I would give it like 60% between yellow and green. And then for production, I think it's also, I was going to say 50% between yellow and green, just because the mastering, the levels, the dynamics, those things really affect the way that people hear and process the music and sort of feel it. So yeah, that's a pretty simple thing to go in and fix. Your mix overall sounds good. Maybe one small thing on the mix is at some points I felt like the vocals were a little bit less intelligible than I'd like them to be. For the most part, I could make out what they were saying, but they were a little bit like sort of whispery or maybe being masked by some of the other
A little buried.
mid-range stuff. Yeah, a little bit buried. Some of the other mid-range stuff that was going on. So, um, but that could also totally be mediated by um, just reducing your over compression, over limiting, and then things become clearer. So I want to try to do that first.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Track totals. What do we think?
I said pretty much green, like 80% green.
I would 80%.
Or maybe
Yeah,
maybe
I would agree with that. I think almost
60 to 80, 70. We'll go 70.
I would say seven. Yeah, like between 70 and 80% between yellow and
Yeah.
green. Almost everything is really good, really professional. Just a few things that I think need to be fixed to make it like a really listenable track. And it's like it's one of those things where the problem is something that makes it hard to listen to, even though it's really good. So it's
Yeah.
just like fix that, and it'll be golden.
Indeed.
Yeah, cool.
Good
All
job,
right.
man. Let us know how you found us too. It might be in the form. Is it in the form?
Um,
How'd
Twitch.
you hear from us? Twitch.
Twitch is the method.
Jeez.
Nice.
All right, that's crazy. We have a lot of uh, what's it called? Synthwave. So that was interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We've got a new chat here too from
What? You guys listen to electronic?
Kimati
Yes, we
Music or
do.
Kimati Music. Yes, we do
Come at
listen
me.
to everything. So yeah, send us your stuff. Link is up there. Oh, we could actually do our
Yeah, I
little
think it's
command.
command submit.
Yeah, I did
Oh shit, I did it
it.
too.
We did too. Oh, I think
What's
it
up,
only.
man?
Wow, Nightbot is smart. All right, sweet.
Sheesh. Happy
So
Friday,
yeah,
Kimati.
happy
All right,
Friday. Welcome to the stream, and let's do the next one.
let's do the next one. We got
Espa
Taylor
Beats is here
Band.
too.
Espa Beast in there. Hey yo. Hey you. What's up, dog? How you been? Track was not found. It's been removed. Come on, bruh.
Oh, sad
Taylor
face.
Bands, what's happening?
Yeah.
Taylor Bands, you've submitted to us before, and it seemed to work. What happened? All right, I guess we'll go back to you, Taylor Bands. If you're in the chat, just let us know, and we will get to you as soon as we get your submission. But I guess we'll move on to Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Okay, Jeremy, let's do it. Let's see. Okay, Jeremy. His song is called Dark Side with an X. It's a work in progress. It's a trap / hyperpomp song that's a work in progress. Trust me, I fucking love this genre.
Oh.
So I'm happy. Yeah. He's from R Making Hip Hop, so sweet.
Nice.
Oh shit. So you ready to listen to it?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to adjust the
I'm doing
the
great,
window
bro.
there.
What about you? Dude, I'm doing pretty good, man. Staying busy for sure. Research is going, I think, well. I'm going over the data, so pray for me. But yeah, submit is that command for the form. Feedback, I don't think is our command yet. Maybe we can do that, but
Maybe.
but cool. All right, so Dark Side, Jeremy, you ready, Josh?
All right, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Dark side, dark side. I sell my soul to the dark side, dark side, dark side.
Nice
I
guitar.
sell my soul to the dark side, dark side, dark side.
Don't do it.
Sell my soul to the dark side, dark side, dark side, dark side, dark side. That's my spark. Drinking too much LSD. Please excuse my homies, we loving my melody. They know I got felonies. Please excuse my homies, made that shit look easy. Drinking too much LSD. Please excuse my homies, we loving my melody. They know I got felonies. Please excuse my homies, made that shit look easy. Gave you everything I ever had, but you need better. California weather, baby, you don't need no sweater. Everybody telling me that I would never get her. Drugs all night, now I wish I never met her. Gave you everything I ever had, but you need better. California weather, baby, you don't need no sweater. Everybody telling me that I would never get her. Drugs all night, now I wish I never met her. I don't care about you, you've been dead to me. I don't even remember what you said to me. I don't even care what you think of me, cause I'ma just do me. I don't care about you, you've been dead to me.
I need more energy, man.
I don't even remember what you said to me. I don't even care what you think of me, cause I'ma just do me. I don't care about you, you've been dead to me. I don't even remember what you said to me. I don't even care what you think of me, cause I'ma just do me.
Ooh, that
Dark side,
That pitch shit is crazy.
to the dark side, dark side, dark side. I sell my soul to the dark side.
pretty good at picking out melodies too.
Dark
Yeah.
side, I sell my soul to
Main
the
thing I think
dark
is
side.
delivery.
Dark side, dark side, dark side, dark side, dark side.
Dark side. Cool. That was Dark
Oh,
Side.
that's
by
cool.
Jeremy. That is a work in progress. I love that,
Nice
switch.
different ending there. Oh, Spotify autoplay.
Yep.
Nice.
Spotify, SoundCloud.
Um,
Let's see.
SoundCloud. streaming services.
Yep. Kamadi Music. Still, I submitted, but I actually got to dip right now. I don't need to play my. All right, bro. We put you in a queue, so we'll get to it eventually. Just hit us back, and we'll get to you.
Yup, yeah.
Bro.
Visit our Twitch channel to view your
That's
feedback.
true. We'll put clips and shit. So,
Yeah.
but thanks for submitting.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to ask Jeremy if he's a producer or just a rapper. This might just be a rap on a type beat because I heard
Hmm.
a pretty intrusive tag,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a beat tag, a producer tag. So
Yeah,
that I might focus more so on the perspective of like a rapper to rapper type.
sure.
Um, but yeah, I think in general, you pick pretty solid melodies. I think you have a good ear. Um, I do think you're kind of in this in between state for the emotion and the delivery and the energy of your vocals. Meaning, I mean, the kind of stuff that you're talking about and the kind of chill, laid back beat, I could see you be like, very kind of sleepy delivery. I think that could work well with this. On the flip side, with hyperpop and the hard hitting drums, I could see you kind of screaming and go kind of full screamo on it. And I actually like both of the styles, but right now I find you kind of in the middle of that, and it's kind of like an unhappy medium. Also, the way that the vocals are processed, I think, um, is kind of in that same way. Like with hyperpop, especially, vocals are typically distorted and like brick walled. And like it or not, like I like it. If that's what you're going for, I would try to even compress it even more and even put more autotune and more effects, make it more wet. Um, but yeah, that's like my first impressions before I keep rattling off stuff on production. Josh, what do you think?
No, yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm not as attuned to the intricacies of, hip hop delivery. So that's good for them to have feedback on that.
Yeah,
I mean, this
I'll
does
go
say
in
that.
more detail, but mhm.
Yeah, yeah. This does say that it's a work in progress. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I sort of have a feeling that he, bought the beat from somebody or something like that,
hmm
and maybe is producing over it or something. Because I just would be sort of surprised. I mean, maybe he's working with somebody else and they're producing it and then he submitted it, but it feels like it's more likely he was in R making hip hop, and I think it's probably more likely that he's you know, he got the beat and now he's producing it. So
hmm
maybe he added things on top of it, or maybe he didn't.
hmm
Um, there were a couple of areas that
Let
I
us know,
thought
Jeremy.
were, yeah, there were a couple of things like that weird little like not siren, but that that weird like sound effect towards the end, the sort of like
Do the pitch wheel. Yeah, it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
it sounded like a guitar, but then it was like pitch wheeled. It was really cool.
Or there's something, some super high little sound effect that was a little bit distracting, I thought, towards the end actually.
Oh, I
But
liked it.
that's like that's a small thing though. I mean, everything else, I think, again, it feels like pretty close to the area of like, yeah, this could be like a somebody who gets big on SoundCloud or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, what else? I think the auto tune usage was good. I thought that was used well. It wasn't like obnoxiously like stepping and stuff, but it sounded like the way you'd want it to hear that.
Mhm,
Um, and I thought, from my perspective, my less informed perspective, I thought that the delivery seemed pretty legit.
mm,
Only again towards the end, that section I was talking about with the sound effect thing, there was also like some extra like doubling and vocal layer stuff that were in different areas in the stereo space, and there were just a couple of points where I was kind of confused, like what to focus on, right?
mm,
Because it was like
yeah,
either there was a backing vocal or a second vocal that was like almost the same volume as the lead, and it was just sort of like drags you around a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
And then a point where I think there was a double, like a straight double, that I heard more of in the right side. It
mm,
was like middle and right, and I don't know if there was also one on the left that was just quieter or something, but there was a little bit of ambiguity in like where things were supposed to be in the stereo field around that
yeah,
part of the song, and what was the lead part. Like they were just
mhm,
sort of distracting from each other a little bit.
mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, that I mean there's not a whole lot else I can think of. Oh, the one thing that I threw out and sort of immediately thought was a little strange was the snare sound. Uh, for some
Yeah,
reason
it was
it
like an
just
EDM
didn't,
type.
yeah, it didn't feel like it fit completely, and it was a little bit like sort of thin, and like the attack and release are really short. It was kind of this like
Mhm.
and I just wish that there was a snare that sort of felt like it fit with the rest of the song a little bit more. Whether it's not like such a bright spike of a
Yeah.
waveform,
Yeah.
that would probably help. But other than
Mhm.
that, again, I think that like the vibe's really good. I think the song length is fine. It's 2 minutes 40 seconds, and I didn't think that it was getting too long or anything.
Mhm.
And most of the production is good, aside from those small caveats.
Mhm. 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 Cool.
So did
Um,
did you want to go into any more detail on delivery stuff, or do you want to do the scores, or?
yeah, I did. Okay, so I did want to add also that some of the harmonies did sound pretty good though. Like the harmonies that you picked
Hmm.
when they came in, I enjoyed them. Do listen to Josh though on the vocals of you want to make the main vocals up front and then backing vocals in the back. Um, but let's see with the delivery.
A little bit of reverb
Uh,
on those, maybe.
right, right, right. Um, I think I said mostly what I wanted to say. I thought I wanted to add to it, but yeah, mostly I would just say either kind of go like a little more less energy to the sleepier side with this type of song, but kind of whiny at the same time. Someone like Midwest or even Glaive. Uh, or you could go like to the other side, the extreme, and just go kind of hard. But I don't think that's what you're going for, especially with the lyrics too. It's kind of sad boyish. So I maybe try delivery that's a little bit more on the emo side, emotional side. Um, Yeah, I don't think I have too much to say other than that. There's a couple points in delivery where, like, you had a big space. I think it was around maybe looks like 2 minutes, maybe 2 minute point. There was like a big space between your lyrics, and then you said "do," but it sounded like you just were guessing where to put that "do," and I think it was like offbeat a little bit. But yeah, that's getting like pretty surgical with it. I think in general it's pretty decent, but if you were to do another take, if this is a work in progress, then I would work on maybe going on that sleepier side of the spectrum for delivery. I would go with more overdrive and distortion on the vocals, and uh, just listen to like Midwest or Glaive or uh, like 100 Gex for that kind of sound. Like you'll understand it, unless you're going for the different type of sound. But since you put hyperpop, that's the kind of thing that I hear is happening. Um, but yeah, I think they'll make the vocals pop a little bit more too. So vibes, I think vibes kind of goes with energy. So I'll put it on develop, just because I want it to be out of this unhappy medium. Um, I think it's solid though. The melodies that you picked and sung, I think they're good melodies and they're catchy. The harmonies are good. Arrangement, I don't think I was ever bored with the song either. I think, yeah, or sorry, not arrangement, it's content. And I didn't find the vocals or the lyrics to be bad or um, memorable in a bad way. So I think it's pretty much good to go. Maybe like 80% good to go in content. It's not bad. Production, I would say it's maybe like 40% between yellow and green, just because I would like the vocals to pop out a little bit more. Um, want them to be a little more shiny, kind of go with the beat a little bit uh, in terms of style. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too crazy. So I think keep doing what you're doing, and if you do another take, let us know what it sounds like, and we'd love to hear it. But my overall track total, I think it's like 20% between yellow and green. Decent work in progress. It's a good idea behind it. Good solid artistry, but yeah, I would just kind of amp it up on terms of the emotion side and amp it up on the vocal production. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Taylor
try
Bands,
to go
bro, we
through
can't
these.
fucking sorry,
Yeah,
Taylor Bands, we
I
can't
was
get
gonna
to your
say,
song. Like, try resubmitting it. It says it
yeah,
deleted or something.
Woo Baby Interlude is was taken off of SoundCloud, Taylor. So send
Yep.
it, or send something.
Send it.
um,
Did that on purpose.
so yeah, so I did not do that on purpose, actually.
Send it.
Um, so for vibes, I'll try to go through these as quickly as I can.
Yeah, sorry, it
Um,
took a while.
no, 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 you're good. I would say I liked it for the most part, and there were just a few things that threw me off a little bit. Maybe not completely my like most loved genre ever, but I would say it's like 80% of the way between yellow and green for those purposes for me. Um, then for content, I would say, yeah, it was again arranged well, wasn't too long. I think that the some of what you're doing with those background vocals and maybe like the snare sound, those could sort of be content related, so might have to dock a few points there. But yeah, I'd give you like 50% of the way between yellow and green for that. And production, again, the sound choices and the mixing of those background vocals and the panning and that stuff in the third quarter or whatever is mostly what I have there, I think.
Bullshit.
So I would give you like 75% of the way between yellow and green for that. And track total, I won't be as hard on you as Chris. I'll give you like 35% of the way between yellow and green.
That's the thing, bro. Jeremy, this is like we're like not traditionally my space, but this is what I've been listening to a lot lately, and what I've have been courting lately with my friends. So I'm pretty critical when it comes to this area, and I see a pretty talented artist. So I see you have a Naruto fucking uh, thumbnail there on your one of your other songs. So that's my same type of vibe. I want to see you be even better. Yeah, Taylor Bands. As soon as you submit it, let us know. By the way, but cool. Uh,
Cool.
that's it. So we'll go to the next one.
Yeah, next up we've got Yar.
Yar, matey.
This is Taylor Band's friend, I think.
Oh, really?
That's what it says. At least was referred by Taylor.
Let's go, Taylor Bands.
Let's go.
Preferred people. Appreciate you, dog. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
And this is fucking drill, dude. This is gonna be insane.
mhm.
All right. Do we have a description for it or anything?
Nope.
Wait, is the song called R&B drill?
I think it is.
All right. All right,
Cool.
R&B drill. I'm not. I don't know what to expect, but
Maybe there's no. It's a work in progress, so maybe there's no title yet.
let's do it. All right.
All
Yar.
right.
3, 2, 1. Oh, is it a beat?
Seems like it.
Okay. The bass seems like it's like high cut, which is interesting.
I think it's that everything is high cut.
You think so?
It
Yeah,
just
I
makes
see
the
that.
bass seem more prominent.
Okay.
I mean, it leaves room for a vocal.
That's true. That swallow's nice. I see what he means by R&B drill. It's interesting. I haven't heard anything like that.
Oh, dude, this sounds like that Billie Eilish Khalid song.
Oh, fuck. We just did that on karaoke the other
Isn't
day.
it lovely?
Oh, whoa! Oh, I thought you were singing.
That was me.
Fuck. I was like, what?
Track feature.
Yeah, Josh, take it away. I like these melodies, man. The piano and strings are beautiful.
Yeah.
I would like the drums to be a little more punchy though.
But I found a way.
Wait,
That was me.
god damn it, stop!
Sorry. It sounds like that song.
Josh really feeling himself there. Who's that guy that? I submitted again. Thank you, Taylor Bands. Since you were up early on the queue, we'll probably get to you next. After your boy. Little TJ, that's who I was thinking of. That kick drum sounds a little bit loud compared to everything else.
Yeah, I like those filtered little snares.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. This is a cool. I didn't know what to expect with R&B drill. Drill's like
Mhm,
usually pretty aggressive sounding, but I think the title kind of nails the genre that he did, which is
mhm,
cool. That was
yeah.
unique. That was Yar. That was R&B drill. I kind of gave my first impressions just then. Josh, what do you think? You were
Yeah, no,
freestyling over it.
no, I was just, it sounds like, "Lovely" by, Billie Eilish and Khalid a little bit,
Mhm, mhm.
especially that quieter part. Now I really like the fact that you've got those sections that and you can even see it on the waveform, are dynamically much smaller than the
Mhm,
rest. Like,
mhm.
that's awesome, right? Not every second of every song needs to be full blast, there's this it's the whole loudness wars thing, right? You can read about this for generations, but,
We're grooving.
um, yeah, I mean, it's like it is important that the loudest part of your song doesn't sacrifice, like, unnecessary headroom, right? Like,
Yep.
you don't need your song to be 5 dB quieter than everything else, right? But it doesn't mean that every single part of the song needs to be super, super loud and blasting and compressed, and I
Mhm.
think this is a good example of that where, like, whatever my volume was set at, this was totally fine, like, with a lot of the ones, honestly, that we've listened to before this, I had to, like, turn down because oftentimes people just, compress things too much or the compression introduces a lot of those high-end artifacts that are just hard to listen to.
Yep.
So, it's good to hear I mean, obviously, this is the opposite in being very much high-passed throughout,
Yeah.
which leaves, I think, space for a really crisp vocal to go on top of it.
Possibly.
Um, but it's hard to say without actually having that on there,
Yeah.
how much things will blend together and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Let us know, Yar, if you're like a producer who wants to like sell this to a rapper or to work with a rapper friend or a vocalist or something. Maybe that's what you're doing. What I also see people do with like type beats as well is they don't really they kind of leave headroom, meaning they don't master it and kind of limit it to where it's like line level with a radio kind of hit. So I think maybe that's what's going on here. Let us know if that's the case, because if that is the case, I think you did a pretty good job. Um, if this is supposed to be like a standalone product, then I think maybe you could benefit from limiting a little bit and making it a little bit louder in general. But yeah, that was an enjoyable listen, I think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But
So let's
so
let's do
categories,
scores. Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, vibes.
solid,
I liked it a lot.
green,
I don't
yeah,
really have anything bad to say.
beautiful melodies, beautiful melodies.
Yeah, I'll give you good to go on vibes. I mean, it's hard to say without hearing vocalists over it as a finished track, but for
That's
the
true.
for as like an available option for somebody to use, I think this is really good
Hmm. I agree. What's the next in content?
content. Um, I mean, again, as
I
far
think,
as I can tell, I think
yeah,
it's a good framework for a song,
yep,
right? And one possibility though, if the vocal doesn't add enough like energy, and if the vocal like depending on how fast it is and what it is and who it is, the track could still be a little bit too sleepy. And I
mm,
don't know again without that being on there if that's the case, but you
hmm,
might that you want to add a couple of embellishments. And I think honestly it's a lot better to start with this, something simple that, serves as like a verse chorus structure or whatever, and the chords and the vibe that somebody can then, be a vocalist over, and then if you need to add things around it, you do that. I think that's
yep,
way better than having like a bunch of little, embellishments that then the vocalist might not fit with perfectly.
yep.
So I I don't have any complaints. I think this is good where it's at. I would give you green on content too.
Yeah, I think this is pretty solid as well. Excuse me. I think the only comment I have is really production, but and
Mhm.
it's a small comment. But
I think I
yeah,
might have the
that's
same
great.
comment.
I did the high cut.
Oh, well, not the high cut. I mean, again, I
Uh,
I that could be fine depending on what if the vocalist is like a crisp vocal that has a lot of like,
yeah,
the nice high crisp high end, then that could be really nice. But
I guess with just my experience of listening to drill, so specifically with that that 808 bass that's going on in the bottom where it goes like woo 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 woo. Like I guess I'm just used to it being much more having much more I don't fuzz maybe is the right word. Just, high frequency content. It was just kind of weird hearing that kind of timbre the whole song.
Yeah,
Um, but
but
yeah,
again, you usually don't hear it without the centerpiece, sort of.
right,
So
right.
who
That's
knows?
true. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with production, my one thing is I don't really like. I have a little bit of a pet peeve for kicks that where like the thump and the beater are like a little bit too high or in sort of a weird mid-range area
Mhm,
where it sounds sort of cardboard boxy,
mhm,
right? Like if you were to like punch a cardboard box, you sort of get like similar frequencies. Those sort of like literally that's generally the frequency range that mixing people refer to as boxy. It's
mhm,
that sort of weird, like almost nasally mid-range area. You can get on any instrument, it can happen. But I just the kick, and you said earlier when you were listening to it, Chris, that the kick seemed a
it's
little
too
loud
yeah,
compared to other stuff, and
yep.
it could partly be that, but also I just think that's like the kick, like the meat
Stuck out.
should be a little bit lower maybe,
Mhm,
and it's fine if the beater is still around where it is or whatever, but like when the thump of the kick is too high, it sort of like hits you in the neck instead of in the chest,
mhm, mhm,
right?
mhm,
So I think that could be an area that could just make it a little bit smoother if that's what you're going for, but maybe it
mhm,
adds a little bit of hardness or something to
mhm,
an otherwise very soft track. So
mhm.
yeah, but otherwise, I don't really have much else on production. I mean, I would give it a
I think it's like
uh
75% for me.
yeah,
Just
I was gonna
green and
say
yellow.
around there. Yeah,
Yeah. Really, it's solid. I think for an overall, I think it's good to go. I think this is ready for a rapper to get on,
yeah.
or to sell a type beat or something. Do you give them the kind of understanding though that this has headroom and this needs to be properly mastered and stuff like that? Some people don't get it. So yeah. Um, they're pretty solid, man. I did not hear about this kind of feel before, so that's cool.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'd give
What
it a
about
good
you
to
too?
go.
Okay.
I'd say the same. It's ready for, the next stage. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's
Ooh,
obviously it's
baby.
not meant to be. It's not necessarily good to go as like it's ready for like release, but it's ready for what it needs.
Yeah, for our perception of what it is.
Yeah.
Um, if it's like a standalone thing, then I think you need to master it, and I think you should get vocals on it. Then it'd be a yellow. But yeah, I think
Yes.
for the beat, it's good. Okay, let's go to. How about we go to Taylor Bands' thing because he was
Yeah.
earlier in the queue,
Yeah. Let's do it.
and he is here. So, and he did just refer that guy. So, shouts out to Taylor
Yeah.
Bands.
Yeah.
When I got to you,
Nice.
is this you, bro? Taylor Bands looking fresh, all tatted up. Sheesh. All right, so let's
Woo
see.
baby. That's why it's called Woo baby.
Woo, baby, woo. He's going some
Woo
pop
baby.
smoke. I think his description has something to do with pop smoke. Let's see. Where is it at? Taylor Bands. I was disappointed at the latest Pop Smoke album, so I grabbed a vocal and went around it. Sweet. So you made the beat? Um, let us know, Taylor Bands. No, well, I guess that's what he did. He's not Pop Smoke. Um, but yeah, it must have been the posthumous album.
He did.
Unfortunately, I don't think posthumous albums for rappers are. I don't think. I feel like they're never good. But all right, cool. Let's do it. Woo baby interlude. Taylor Bands. 3, 2, 1.
Look, you know I love a tiger. She got the buns I admire. I'm at the butt, I bet your car. I'm about to say all the fire. You know I love a tiger.
Ooh.
I skirt on her ass like a tire. She like Poppy on fire. She like Poppy on fire. 4-4 parking, ayy, louder than the church choir. I do a drill in a suit. Then I change my attire. Look, she threw that ass back in a quick sec, change her clothes and then make a Snapchat. She go talk about it on her Facebook. I'm like, baby, I thought it was past that.
That synth a little bit off. I love that. That's cool.
I would bring that into the foreground a little bit more, actually.
The vocal?
No, that little thing that you were describing. Yeah,
It's so cool.
like a little bit less reverb on it.
Oh, it's so cool. It's a cool beat. I feel like that should
See,
record
that part's a lot. Yeah,
a
it's a
little
lot
bit out
louder
of
than.
place. Hmm.
I think it could be okay if it was just leveled more like the other stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
It
mean,
sounds like the 808, but it's like a couple octaves up or something. Bro,
I
did you make
wonder.
that? So unfortunately, I don't know what the original Woo Baby sounds like, but um, if you made that beat, like I like the kind of I don't know if it's strings or whatever. I like the kind of general melody of it. I love the thing. Um, yeah, in general, that was pretty cool. R.I.P. Pop. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, no, overall I thought it was cool. Good vibes. I mean, I don't really have much on vibes and content because it's pretty short.
Yeah,
Um,
and
I mean, for vibes, I would say it's well, there's a couple of production things honestly that I think could make the vibes better.
I think it needs
So,
to be punchier. It needs to be. I think it needs to be limited,
oh, you interesting. So
compressed. Yeah,
I could maybe see that, although I
sounds
mean, the
quiet.
main issue that I have is something else, but, I
Yeah.
mean, for vibes, yeah, it's mostly there, but I think there are things that could make it more, sort of radio ready or, listener ready, mostly in the production area, but they affect the vibes for me at least. So I would say,
Yep.
like, you know, 30% between yellow and green for that.
For the
Um,
vibes.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then content, I mean, it's pretty short and, there's no vocal on or whatever. So
Pop Smoke.
for yeah, I mean, for what it is, I think it's fine, but, there's I don't know, I just feel like there's something a little bit missing, and maybe it is just because it's, like, super short, but I think it's also the production side is kind of blending into these for me. But I would say it's 75-80% between yellow and green for that.
Mhm,
Production, the main thing that I had a little bit of an issue with,
mhm.
that 808 and the kick, I think are too distorted, right?
Oh,
So they're
I don't
like,
know.
I just think they're too much. Like, I think um, you could do like a fuck, what's it called? Where you like compress one of them and not the other. What's that
Oh,
called when you
parallel compression?
yeah, parallel compression. And not exactly parallel compression, but parallel processing where you
Mhm,
have a version of the 808 and or the kick that retain the low end because I just felt like here's like full width, right? Like 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz,
mhm,
and it sounds like it's sort of living in here, right? Like we're
mhm,
losing from here to here. We're like
mhm.
losing a little bit of the frame
Yeah.
because the distortion generally eats away at low end.
Mhm,
So what I would do is parallel compress them or parallel process them so that
mhm,
you've got a copy of the 808 and the kick that retain that low end content,
mhm,
and then you can also do a separate copy that distorts it maybe even more if you really want to go for that kind of rattly effect.
mhm,
But I just think that right now it's again that problem of when you put things through too much saturation, you start to sort of band limit everything a little bit.
mhm.
So
Yep. What's
that's
up, Erica in the chat? Hey, hey, sidechain. No,
that's
we're talking about parallel,
yeah,
but yeah.
that's my main thing, and then, also with those little background parts, I think those are cool, but they sound a little bit too quiet, like they're too far behind us.
Which
W
one? The ba?
the little, like, string thing or whatever it was, like
Oh,
the
yes. Yeah, I think you should bring that up for sure.
yeah, yeah, like, bring the volume up a little bit and maybe cut back a little bit on whatever, like, reverb is happening on there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
but yeah,
think
I
you should
mean
fucking compress that shit and then sidechain it to the drums.
yeah, I could see compression being useful for some of this stuff, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'll definitely do that. Hell yeah, Taylor Bands, let us know.
Let's
This is
go.
cool. It was cool though. Like this is a cool beat.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I wonder what the original one sounds like. But yeah, I think were you done with production?
Yeah, no, I just for the score on that, I would give it, that one is more, like, developed for me. I just think it's, like, it's not quite there yet. It
Wow.
could be, it has potential, but I just think that, like, the levels didn't sound super, like, even to me,
Yep.
like we talked about with a few things, and the distortion on the low end sort of just made it feel like it was missing a foundation a little bit.
Yep. Yep, yep. I actually this compared to the last song we just did where that they kind of had that same 808 sound and they were both technically drill. I think Taylor Band's is kind of more in line of what I expected from an 808 where it's kind of distorted like that. I do think it could benefit from more low end like you're saying. But I do generally like how it sounds in comparison to the last one. Um, I do think that levels for production are the main issue here. That I would say mainly that string part, which is really cool. It's like ba, 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 ba. Like it's pretty cool. It's just quiet. I would bring it up, and the way I'd bring it up is through a um, sidechain compression, and I'd sidechain it to where the drums are. That way, once the drums come in, they kind of punch in and then lower the volume of the strings such that you get like a punchier sound, and you kind of get this swelling when the strings come back in, and it could give your track a little bit more life. It sounded kind of flat in that aspect.
So
I
just to be clear about that, because when you said that at first, I thought you meant like making the strings more noticeable by side chaining them to the drums, as in they would turn down the volume of or the affect the compression of the
Right.
drums. But
Sorry.
you're talking the other way, where
Other way.
the
Yeah.
drums you're just letting the drums kick through those strings a little bit, and maybe if
Exactly.
they're already on other things, then that stuff too.
Exactly. It would give so yeah, make sure that you're ducking the strings when the drums come in, basically. Like when the drum comes in, the volume of the strings gets lower, and you could do that automatically, automated with sidechain compression. Um, it would give it a more kind of pumpy feel to it, which I think I would like to hear on this track. So that's something that I would do. In general, I think the mix is quiet. I don't know if you're at the mastering stage yet, so that could be a reason. But yeah, I think a limiter would be fine on this. Um, and that it's only a minute 30, so I'm not really asking for much in terms of uh, dynamic range or anything. It's a minute 30. But yeah, those are my notes on production. I think I'll give it a solid yellow because I do think um, that's the kind of main issue. I think everything else. I think the idea, the instruments that you use, some of the effects like the ba are really cool. The pitched up, super pitched up 808, I think is a cool idea. But I think it's just louder than everything else. So that's the thing, and that's kind of factoring into the production score, where I think it's a yellow. So overall, I think it's like a yellow and green, like between yellow and green, it's like 30%.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of work to be done on the mix side of things, but in terms of like the artistry and like the choice of instruments and stuff like that, I think it sounds pretty cool. The fact
Yeah.
that this is uh, acapella from Pop Smoke, I think his vocals could also stick out a little bit more, but I'm more focused on the beat at this point. The fact that there was just a straight acapella and you made this with it, I think that's super cool. So keep going, man. I want to hear the new mix.
Dope. Yeah, I can agree with that final score.
Um, Looks like Zog and Erica know each other.
Yeah, what's up, fam? Good evening.
What's up, Zog? Nice to see you. Happy Friday. Okay, so Taylor Bands, we just did Woo Baby, and then we did Jeremy, we did Yar. So we have Jokerhead next. Is that correct,
Ooh.
Josh?
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, so we got Jokerhead with Journey. It's a finished release as well. We
Just a
have
small town girl.
Yeah, yep. That's the cover. Um, Same as last track in. I only had the MP3 to master and edit because I made it years ago, but I'd still love to hear your guys' thoughts, pros and cons. I have no idea on the genre either, so if you had an idea, that'd be great. Different type of track again. Same as last track in. Huh. Outer space. Wait, so is this like a? Did he send this to us before?
I don't think he did. I mean, the description on SoundCloud says a remaster of an earlier tune from years ago. I don't
I
think
see.
we've heard this one.
Okay, same track in.
Maybe
All
though.
right. Yeah, let us know, Journey. Let us know, Jokerhead. I mean, it looks different. Like I don't
Yeah.
remember this album art. So,
Yeah, cool album art.
all right. I like how he hashtag repetitive. No,
Is that a
who's
comment on
gonna?
here?
No, he hashtagged it and he put it in the
Oh, really?
description. I think it's because don't let our comments get to your marketing, Jokerhead.
Interesting.
Don't. Because he's gonna look up that hashtag.
That's funny.
Uh,
Maybe some people will have a condition where they need to listen to something really repetitive to, like, break
maybe.
out of a cycle.
That's funny,
No
Jokerhead.
idea.
Shouts out to the time. It's 4:20, 4 minutes 20 seconds long. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Journey, Jokerhead. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Big man sound. Two different kicks going on. Interesting. Sounds like that other one's kind of a bit out of time. Out of time.
whoa.
Airplane flying outside my house?
Ooh, that's super loud.
What is it? Is it left
That's like
hand to you?
it's like hard for me to listen to.
It's like left hand for me.
Yeah, it is.
It's a cool sound though. I would
But
like
again,
it.
those highs are super loud. High mids.
We only had the MP3 apparently. So I could tell him to ban it, but we can't.
Yeah, guys, the screen share is in mono. It looks like.
I read it wrong. Is this just me or is this in mono? Oh, Josh, are you saying that the screen share is mono?
There's no way to screen share it in stereo.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, just the way the internet.
Kind of a nice chord though. I like these chords. Is that a guitar? I wonder if this is Justin playing guitar. Oh, what? I like that break at the end and then it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, and he put drum and bass in the hashtag, but there's that little break was the only drum and bass I got to experience.
Yeah.
That was Jokerhead. That was Journey Experimental. Dude, I love that snare sound. That snare sound's awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, the biggest comment for me is the freaking wub synth that's throughout the whole song, and for some
Yeah.
reason it's left panned. Why is it left panned? Um, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, pretty chill. Oddly enough, you say it's repetitive, right? Um, and it is. It
It's
is
true.
repetitive. But you put like a improv solo guitar there, and that's something that I could have, like, I could listen to for like kind of a story for the whole track. And in that sense, like compared to the stuff that I heard before from you, Jokerhead, I think it's actually less repetitive, which is interesting. And I think
Yeah.
that's why that shows you like how powerful like having a top line is, even if it's not crazy shredder, super duper melodies or something like that. Um, I think that's like a testament to show just how powerful that could be if you just add something like that to your song. But yeah, if that was you playing the guitar too, like that was a pretty good job. I think it was a
Definitely.
little bit of a simple melody, a little bit uh, uh, boring to listen to, for lack of a better word. Sorry, after a minute or two of a solo. So, but yeah, that's my first impressions of it. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have crafted a pretty good, sort of scenic thing here, right? Like it's sort of it's like there is a little bit of a journey for it for sure. And I think the repetitiveness of that could even be part of it. Like it almost gives me a little bit of like a deserty vibe. Well, you know what? Your album artwork is like somewhat accurate there, I think.
Yeah,
Like it looks like a guy like walking through a desert, like seeing the northern lights or whatever.
yeah.
Um and it kind of has that, right? And there's definitely a place for that. The biggest issue by far is that synth or whatever you call it sound.
Hmm.
Um I don't like, oh my god. Again, I sort of like in trying to be as helpful as possible with this. I don't know if like your speaker setup or system is flawed in a way that you can't hear how it's out of place because it's very obvious, right? Like it was
I
super
actually don't. I didn't feel it as bad as the other songs that we heard tonight.
really.
Yeah, like I
For
thought
me,
that
this was by
that
far the worst for
what is it,
in terms
the
of sonics
Vega
for that.
Venera? The Vega Venera one I thought was worse
A little
from my
bit,
ear.
but I mean, it was the volume of that s and you can literally see it on the waveform, that whole
Sure.
section in the middle, that the loudest part is that one synth that stays the same the whole time, very flat.
Mhm.
You can see the hi-hats, I think, a little bit there
Chris, I
too,
love your kiss.
something. Um,
Zog's
but
going off.
but yeah, it was weird how it was panned slightly, and it was the upper mid-range and the highs were, again, pretty grating, and it was just too loud, like, the volume of it relative to your other parts was disproportionate, so, yeah, that's the main thing is, get that get that in check because I feel like especially later on, actually, I liked what you did with the arrangement elements and that guitar part, like, if you did that, that's awesome. I could maybe see what Chris said about, like, after a little bit, it was maybe too spacey, right? It's good to have space when you're doing that kind of thing as opposed to being too busy.
Mhm,
But then there were parts where it sort of trailed off and became a little bit ambiguous. I
mhm.
did like the way that it started out. I thought the beginning section of that was good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean the and your drum sounds I think are pretty good, but the main thing is that synth part has just got to be like tamed a little bit or swap it out with something else.
I
Give your
like it.
give your mix more room to I mean, I like the timbre of it and
Mhm.
what it's doing, but the mixing of it is whack. Like the
Yeah,
mixing of it is
yeah,
way out
dude,
of
put that on the sides, like, not just one side too, like, put it on both sides, like,
right.
I feel like it has that atmospheric feel of just like woof, woof. It's like looking at a fucking aurora light. What's it called?
The
The
aurora
northern light,
borealis
or the
or
borealis.
just the northern lights.
Yeah, it looks like a northern light, but like via sound. And so you
Yeah,
don't
it's
see it on the left side only, bro. Like it's encompassing the whole mix, and that's what I want to
right.
see.
Yeah.
By the way, Zog says, and Erica says, Josh got a big vibe going on,
Thank you. I
like your
appreciate that.
background. And
Oh,
they love
so
my kitchen. Appreciate you.
this studio is called Studio Mars because the floor is this like red or orange sort of cratered epoxy. This
Mhm.
might be my last one of my last streams from Studio Mars
No,
because I'm going to be moving to an apartment, new place.
R.I.P. Oh, that'd be sick. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
which will be cool in its own way, but the scenery here is pretty dope with the brick wall and the neon and all that stuff.
Oh, I thought that freaking neon says fuck in the back, but I think it
That
says
dude,
rock.
everyone thinks it says that. It says rock, but
Yeah, it says fuck.
depends. Yeah, depends which way you look at it.
That's funny.
Um,
Okay.
Right.
Did we do scores?
We didn't. Let's just do them quick.
Let's do 'em quick.
Uh,
Vibes. I think the vibe, like it's repetitive, whatever, blah blah blah. But I think it fits the picture really well. I think it's very chill, and like
mhm.
this is a song style where, and it's kind of dubsteppy too. It's like chill step almost. It's kind of like it needs to be a little bit repetitive. So the vibe isn't too bad for me. I didn't hear the grading as much as Josh did, but I do understand where he's coming from, and I do think that the synth should be tweaked a little bit. I don't know if you can because you have the MP3. You probably can't, but if you could, that's what I would do. Vibe, I would say it's like 70% green to yellow. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think overall, I mean, honestly, at the beginning, I was getting a little bit of the sort of amateurish vibe.
The kick choices, yeah, I think they were amateurish.
Maybe
The
that, but
sound.
I also just felt like there were some sounds that were being layered that didn't feel like, I could tell, like, okay, like, you found this loop somewhere, and then you found this other sound, they're just kinda thrown together, and, like,
Mm,
the hardest part when you're using stuff that exists that wasn't purpose made for your track is making them sound like they're supposed to be in the same track,
mhm,
right? Because, like, I mean, even if you go into, like, if you go further back, right, like, all recorded music was like, all the parts were recorded by the group of people that were making the song, and so things were generally cohesive. But then, you go into sampling, and the great thing that those people are able to do, like Kanye was able to do, is find things that work well together and make them work well together,
mm,
right? And if you're just pulling samples and kind of throwing them in and saying, "It's, like, okay, but not great," well, try to make it great, right? Like, try to take things out that sound out of place or don't quite fit the frequency spectrum that your other instruments are in, or they don't fit the melodic characteristics, which, is fairly common too. So, I would just make sure that all of your choices are intentional and you're not just trying to add things for the sake of having parts in your mix. Because I think letting things breathe and have really quality elements, like, it's not quantity as much as it is quantity. Sorry. It's not quantity
ha.
as much as it is quality,
True.
right? So, yeah, I would just, be careful about that a little bit, but overall
Mhm,
vibes, I would say, 40% between develop and good to go,
mhm.
because I think there's some things needed to make it really vibe.
Yep.
Uh,
I think
content
along the lines of the amateurish stuff. I think it was mostly applied to the beginning, the sample choices.
yeah, I agree.
That kind of dings you in the content aspect. Um, the repetitiveness, if you want to say, um, and I'd say more so this is like the solo dragged on a little bit long. Um,
Sure.
yeah, I think that's probably around maybe 30% between yellow and green for me. And then production, yeah, the synth, it needs to be panned correctly, in my opinion, to capture the breadth of the mix, not just the one side. Um, its timbre, I guess, needs to be screwed with as well. Make sure that none of the grading frequencies are really there, um, or at that level. Other than that, I don't know if I have any other comments. I think the drums sounded good, maybe a little bit quiet, but I liked the bounce of them. Um, I think productions maybe 30% between yellow and green as well. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, content, I think, again, like, just your sound choices and your placement of them, uh I didn't really mind, like, the solo section, honestly, after it started to get more sparse, I sort of just, like, zoned zoned out, it like, critically, and more just was vibing with the groove. So I didn't really mind that part so much, but I could see, like, yeah, it probably is a little bit on the long side. Uh, maybe you could just change things up a little bit, make it more interesting. And the biggest thing again is that synth part that either needs to be changed or more likely just processed a little bit differently and the volume put more in line with your other stuff going on. So
Mhm, mhm,
content, yeah, I would say like 30 or 40% between yellow and green,
mhm.
and production, mostly the same thing. I think you could probably use a little bit more mixing work, and even just like taking things out that
Actually,
aren't necessary can
yeah,
clean up your mixing and your sonic profile a lot. So,
yeah. Though actually, the way that was mixed, I don't know if I could push it out if I was an engineer. I'd have to do a redo. I think that'd be solid yellow, actually.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Honestly, there were parts that I thought sounded pretty good, and then there were just, like, elements that I thought stuck out or weren't quite properly, placed in
Sure.
the mix, or maybe there's just even a little bit of, like, master bus, like, processing you could do that would sort of glue things together a little bit more.
Yeah.
And, like, be careful with that, but it is a useful way to bring things together if they don't sound like they're in the same space or the same universe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd give you, probably like a 10 or 20% between yellow and green, because
Yeah.
there's some definite things to work on in that part.
Sure.
And then track totals?
Track total. I think it's like 20% between yellow and green. I think um I just think that that pan to the left is a glaring issue. Um it has to be worked on before I would release it, but I don't think you can in the state that is. So fuck it. But yeah, if I were to give it a track total Jokerhead, that's what I'd give it.
Yeah. Um, I would say it's for me, I think it falls in line with the production part, because the production part I think really does need some work.
Yep.
And some of the content does. And I think both of those affect the vibe. So for me, it's like 10 to 20% uh between developing good to go.
Yay. All right. That was Jokerhead. No. I posted
Nope.
in the queue straight up love fest in the chat. Apparently, someone's gonna kiss.
Oh
Um,
boy.
yeah, we got Kimati, we got Espa Beats, we got Zaug, we got Erica and DJ XO. So that's five. That's a pretty full lineup. So we do typically stop the stream at 7:30. So we'll try to get to you guys as much as possible. But do not fret, because if you submit it to our forum, regardless, we will get to you eventually. It just might not be the stream. We'll let you guys know, and you guys can kind of time it. You know, once we get closer and closer to 7:30.
Secret, it might not be this year.
Yeah.
So
So we might
the
be gone for. So go for it.
we got unlucky because next Friday is Christmas Eve, and the
Yeah.
Friday after that is New Year's Eve.
Yep.
So it's the one day of the week, kind of. I guess if it was, if either of those were a day earlier, also. But,
Yep.
anyways, I mean, we figure most people will probably be occupied with other stuff on those days, and I think
Us
we're gonna
too.
be like traveling and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but after that, we'll be back, and you can keep up with us on Instagram and or Discord. Maybe over that break, we'll use the Discord a little bit more, get
Yeah.
some discussions going, and you guys can maybe give each other feedback.
That'd be
So,
sick.
yeah, I mean, we can listen to stuff too, but
Cool.
that would be dope.
Let's do it.
And let's do this one. We've got
Kimati music
yep,
chaos.
Kimati
Oh
Chaos.
wait, Kimati said he was leaving. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Maybe we can get back to him.
yeah.
Wait for the people.
Let's do that.
All right. So Kimati, sorry. I mean, you told us that we can skip it, so that's cool. We'll go to Espa. Espa, I think they might be here still. I'm not sure, but if you are, we're going for it. So Espa Beats, friends of the stream. Song title is called IDK. So I don't know if that's real or if he just doesn't know. Work in progress. So it says, I'm doing a collab with a friend, but this is all me. He didn't do anything yet.
Okay, you get the credit.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna give him all the credit, but yeah. All right. Espa Beats, you spelled your own name wrong in our forum. Congratulations. All right. Anything else? Oh wait, hi guys, just in. Sorry, was waiting for that. Haha, testing your limits of critique. Just getting your overall thoughts from my old tracks before moving forward. Appreciate it. Yo,
Nice.
relatable. Haha. Cool. All right. That's drill. 5x soul beats. You ready, John?
Let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Ooh.
That's fun.
Dude, this is like a drum and bass kind of feel.
You've done it again.
Ooh.
Interesting.
This is like an EDM song. What the fuck?
Oh. Wow.
This kick
There we go. That is how you distort a kick drum.
Yeah, the energy on this song is crazy. Maybe one to hear more of that lead. Yeah, one more of that lead, I think. Maybe take the kick back and turn the distortion a little bit. Espa's fire.
Nice. Love that.
The samples will sound great too.
You've done it again.
Yeah. This is like pop smoke type shit.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was fucking sweet.
Damn.
Fucking sweet.
Espa, you got my headphones shaking.
Yeah, dude. That was
They're like
fire.
about to fly off my head. That's crazy.
Dutch drill on the map. Espa putting it up on the map.
So, look, I will say we heard that other track earlier that I thought the distorted 808 kick didn't sound right.
Yeah.
This is how to do it,
Hmm.
right? That is there's a difference, right? Like the low
Mhm.
end was palpable here where our headphones are basically shaking, right?
Yep.
And the tone of the distortion was also better, I think, than the other one where it was like a sort of richer distortion.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's super dope. And just overall, like love the I don't know what you call it, like a tape winding thing or
Remember?
whatever.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, the
sick.
tape wind. That's awesome.
So
Love
sick.
how you did it later in the song too. That was super cool.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm impressed.
Bro. Yeah, I'm impressed too. I hope you get a rapper that you
Oh, that
deserve.
does it justice.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
this could be if you do, like, and it's hard to say because a rapper can fuck it up or make it cool. But if you do, I could see this becoming like a purple tier song. Um
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ever submit it because I think Espa sells beats, so I'm not sure how that's gonna happen. Maybe he can send
Mm.
it in once he finds out if somebody good does it. But yeah, man, the energy's fire. I think vibes is green all the way. I think content is green all the way. A lot of cool stuff you're doing here. Um, that beginning was just ridiculous. I haven't heard anything like that on a drill beat. It sounded almost EDM-ish. There were some cool things you were doing with it. The production is like the only thing I think that maybe the kick's a little bit too loud and a little bit too distorted. And I'd like to hear that lead, that like Egyptian sounding lead. I'm sorry if I'm being racist, but that's just what I heard. Um, I like to hear more of that a little bit. I understand that you might duck it because a vocal's going to go there, but um, that's the only thing I'd change. So it's pretty much like 95% of the way green. For an overall green potential purple, if somebody gets on this. Um, what about you, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of comments for it because I think
Fire,
also,
fire.
yeah, like I mean, it's super good and would definitely need to hear what it sounds like with somebody on it. But if you're selling it as a beat and this is the final form for you, or if it's work in progress, then that's great. I think the vibes for me are green for sure. Like it definitely is. Like sometimes we listen to stuff that honestly is like when's it gonna be over? Or like, okay, like I sort of see what maybe is trying to be done here, but it's sort of makes it there, maybe not all the way. And then there are the ones that sort of surprise you, right? Like they do things in the arrangement and the sound and whatever else that are like fresh, right?
Yeah,
And you're like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. That's one of the best things I think in music is when something goes somewhere that you don't expect it to.
yeah,
And it does it well also. It executes well. So I
yeah,
think you did all those things here. I'd give you a green on the vibes for sure. Um, content, I don't really have much there other than I would just be curious what it sounds like with, a lead person on it.
yeah.
Uh,
You
but
could say
yeah,
good things too about content.
no, I mean, I liked everything. I can't really pick out specific things, but I would give you a green on that as well for sure.
Hmm, hmm.
And production, I think the one thing, like, I mean, I really did like the tone of the distorted 808 and the amount of heft that it has. I
Yeah,
would just be careful to try it out on like car speakers or something, and reference it against like similar genre songs, and just make sure that you're not gonna destroy any subwoofer systems
yeah,
because it is possible to have too much there, and you technically you could be affecting the overall loudness that you can actually get out of streaming services as
yeah,
well. So uh, Sometime yeah, you even if it sounds good, when you're uploading it to the internet and stuff, you can sometimes have, bandwidth issues. But, yeah, man, overall, I mean, that's a small thing as well. I would give you, like, 95% on production.
Overall?
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I already gave it. I said green, potential purple if someone
Oh,
gets on it.
yeah, no,
Um,
I would say the same. I mean, I would say for now it's good to go. I think technically not being a fully finished song,
yeah,
I don't think we could give it a purple, but if it had the right person on it, it could
that's
be
what
a
I'm saying.
purple. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is a beat that could be a purple.
definitely, yeah.
Um, I wanna just shout out people in the chat real quick. What's up, Avenged? They sent in a remix. I think we got it. Yeah, we've got it. Cool Irk, we also got it as well.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened with these guys.
Erica and Zhao are fighting here.
Yeah, I guess a couples fight.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, Chakrat and Bro, I have a song for feedback. Please submit it. Oh, was that you that did that? Like a submit command.
Yeah.
And then Taylor Bands, I'm gonna head off later, brother. Have a good one. Have a good night. Good Friday night.
Yeah, thanks
Who's
for
next?
hopping on and referring people and sending us your tracks. Love to hear
For
it.
sure, for sure. Next is actually Zaug, so get ready to get roasted. Just
Let's
kidding.
go, alright. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Erica's gonna roast oh, no, they made up. They're all good now.
Okay, that's good. Wait a minute. Did he just send his email? Oh no. Okay. Streaming links.
No.
Okay, yeah, it was just in a weird spot. All right. So we got Zaug Official, produced and recorded by me. Nice. It's a work in progress. It's called Polar Opposite. Shouts out to Zaug in the chat.
Polar
Um,
opposite, is that Zaug and Erica? Are they polar opposites?
I don't know, dude. When worlds collide.
Well,
Oh
opposites
shit, shit,
attract,
shit.
so
That's true. We're matchmakers here at FastTrack. You
yes.
ready to listen to it?
Yeah, let's go.
Uh, okay, 3, 2, 1. Ben says simp.
Be
This
nice.
piano's nice.
Love the
My
crackle.
God, my God, my,
This
my
song to Erica,
God,
bro.
my. I've been waiting for na to hold me down. Will it be you to pick me up and tear me
Great delivery.
down? Waiting for all my polar
Almost trippy red
opposites.
ass.
Taking most your time away, that's all you
Might be a little bit loud compared
get.
to the instrumental version.
Waiting for all my polar opposites. Taking most your time away, that's all you get.
Whoa.
Waiting for na.
Bro, this is fire. I love this. That was cool.
My God. My God. Oh my.
That was awesome, man. I
Yeah.
dug that a lot. Holy shit. Zaug, shouts out. He produced and recorded it. It sounds fucking fantastic. I think.
Nice. You're a prodigy.
Yeah. Excuse me. Do you have any first impressions? I'm reading the chat real quick.
Oh yeah, Erica's saying the formant shift. That is nice. Love that. That's
Holy
like a black bear thing.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's what
Dope.
it is. Wow, I just learned something new. Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can formant shift in autotune. Or there are other plugins to do it
Oh
too.
yeah, that's true. Or just
I think.
Ableton in general, the
Yeah.
Complex Pro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fucking sweet. I don't think I
Super
have
sweet.
much criticism or any like tips. I just think very emotional delivery. That's how you do
Yeah.
an emotional delivery. I got vibes of like a Trippy Red almost. Also kind of like weekend vibes too. It's kind of interesting. Um, Beautiful piano melody. I think the vocals are just a little bit louder than the instrumental in the beginning. Um, I think the drop was fucking fire. It's very unique. Uh, Maybe that main kind of synth, I would like it to be a little bit bigger. Um, in
Bigger? What do
terms
you
of
mean by
maybe
bigger?
maybe
Spectrally?
spectrally, yes, just occupying more frequency space or maybe
Yeah.
even stereo space. Just kind of sound down the middle and kind of flat. But overall, man, this is really good. I think vibes easily. It's a green. That's really good. I think
Yeah.
this could be like a potential purple as well.
Mhm.
Um, Fantastic. Should I keep going or should I go with your first impressions?
Yeah, let's just go through each category. So,
All right.
I would also I mean, vibes, yeah, man, like, the emotional delivery, I love it when somebody is good at the songwriting and arranging part
Yeah.
as well as the artistry part and the delivery. That's awesome. Super great.
We didn't hear it
That's
in
a
mono. We heard it in stereo.
Yeah, for us, it's in stereo, but it's just we can't screen share in stereo.
Yeah.
It probably takes up too much bandwidth or something.
Sad.
Um, but yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, great delivery there. Vibes, green all the way. Love the changes in sections and stuff. It's not like stagnant at all. Very
No.
dynamic. Yeah, love that. What about content?
Green. Yeah. What it's good. Like this is awesome. I feel like I'd follow this artist. This is super cool. It's super exciting. Um, Arranged well. I was never bored. It's nice and short and sweet. Very energetic. Green. What do you
Um,
think?
Zaug is saying he's confused about that bass takes up more stereo space. So it is possible that that's perceived because the higher that frequencies are, the more directional they technically are and sound to human ears. So low end, an example is you could place a subwoofer for your home stereo system anywhere in the room, and it really doesn't matter because low end like pretty much not directional. It basically just travels like along walls and stuff, and it just kind of like it actually piles up in corners, which is why you have bass traps in studios. But bass just kind of is like a slow moving thing that like travels along walls and is just everywhere. High frequencies, like the higher you go, the more they act like light almost, where they like in a mirror, right? You've got photons that are bouncing at an exact angle to whatever they bounced off. The higher your frequencies go, the less they're gonna like snake around stuff and travel along walls, and the more they're gonna directionally bounce off surfaces, especially hard surfaces. That's why when you have a room that has really hard walls and no like padding or treatment, you're going to have issues with reverberation because then you've got frequencies that are zigzagging like literally between the walls and reverberating. And those are high frequencies, which your ear is also more attuned to because that's where the vocal range lies, and we have to be able to hear that as humans evolutionarily. So yes, your bass usually should never be panned because it's unnatural, right? There's almost no scenario in nature where you hear low frequency that's super directional. So, like if you put it in the left side of the headphone and now the right ear doesn't have access to that bass, it sounds super fucked up. It's like it's not the way that you should be hearing it. But with high frequencies, it's good to pan things around because it makes things sound spatial and you have a sense of where things are because your ears are like and your brain is echolocating their
Mhm.
position based on the high frequency content.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Let
would
me
I
just
would
skip
also
that track.
suggest.
Sorry, I was just saying because I think that buzzing kind of like what
Yeah,
I was saying is like the maybe just EQ the top end of it.
EQing the
Um,
top end, but
or
also
sorry, not EQing the top end, but panning or stereo space in the top end of it.
yeah, doing
Yeah.
something to make it not super down the middle and not interfering with other elements that are in the middle as well could make it sound just wider and have more space. Um, Eric,
Erica going in,
I'm not talking about
going in on
echolocation
Zach.
as in like making a sound with your tongue and then hearing where things are. I mean stereo localization, right? So when your ears are approximating where something is. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that could be useful for stereo spacing, but also the levels. Like you can actually see from the waveform here. that there's, and this is the opposite of the problem we usually have, right? Where
Yeah.
something is too loud and mastered too loud.
Yeah.
You've got a ton of dynamic range here, which is awesome. I would just say that the actual volume range might be a little bit wide, where we're at a comfortable volume for the beginning of your song, and then when that synth thing comes in, it like stabs you a little bit in the ears because it's just so much louder and so much more aggressive.
Mhm.
So solution could be to bring up the levels of the other stuff, or to bring down the levels and just have a little bit less dynamic range in terms of the sections, right,
Mhm.
relative to each other.
Yeah.
Um, but overall, I mean, other than that, I think that I'd rather have more dynamic range than less.
Yeah.
And most of your parts, have so much of that feeling and range and are dynamic in a really good way. So yeah, I think for content, that's all sort of arrangement stuff and maybe sound choice. Um, I
So
would give
true.
you I would give you like a green on that. Really good, songwriting and placement of things.
Really
But the
good.
comments that I just made for production, I would say you're at like 80% probably
Mhm.
between yellow and green, and it's just a matter of sorting out those levels and maybe a couple of the stereo things. But
Mhm.
otherwise, things sound really good.
Okay, man. By the way, Group 935. I feel like I recognize you, but I don't know if I recognize the whole name. Did you change your Twitch name? Anyways, um, this track total, man. What do you think? Like, I think this is like almost purple material. Like, this is like a conference that we should have.
Yeah,
But what
I
do you
mean,
think?
I think like the
This is like
content.
an artist that I'd like to like spotlight. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
this is really good. But
definitely. I mean, I think just to be fair and objective to our rating system and everything, what we're trying to do,
yeah,
the content and the vibes, like the song itself, right, regardless of the production, I think is like purple quality, right?
yeah.
But I think that the production is far enough from being radio ready that the
Mhm.
track, I wouldn't, quite want to put it in a top tier track category because it needs some work still, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I
And I
see.
think
I
it's
see what you're
enough
saying.
work to justify, that if we heard a revision of this and the mixing was good,
Yeah.
I think it's a purple.
I think my perception of it is that it is radio ready, but I could see your perception being a little bit less than radio ready. So I don't know. Like so with that, I'm guessing you're at green. Is
Yeah,
that
I mean,
correct?
I'm trying to separate the song from the
Sure.
track,
Sure.
right?
Sure. Like yeah, I am too. But that's the thing. Like I didn't hear anything that makes it that I don't see this like being able to be pushed out or whatever.
I mean, the
Um,
volume change, I think, is something that could cause an issue with a lot of listeners. Like,
yeah.
I think
I
it's pretty drastic.
Right, but I mean what I'm saying like my perception is I didn't. So like
Okay,
I agree that it's there, but I don't think it's like a deal breaker for me.
sure.
But I could see why you would say green. I would say for me it's a little more purple, but um, the rule here is that both of us had to do purple for it to get on the playlist. So
Yeah.
maybe with the resubmission it could get there because we
Yeah,
really do
no,
like it.
please actually do send us if you work on this at all, and or if you have other stuff that you've worked on,
It's
because I
awesome.
mean, this is definitely one of the better things that we've heard,
Yeah.
honestly. Um, and yeah, I would be curious to see what else you've got as well.
Your boy Yordnad's in the stream. Fast Track Music, and it's been a hot minute. I feel like I
Let's
remember
go.
Group 935, not Yordnads, but regardless, welcome back, brothers. It's good to see you. Yeah, all right, who do we have next? Zog, that
Next
was
up,
fantastic, man.
yeah, really, really good. Thanks for saying that in. Hope to see you around more.
Okay, let's see.
Erica is next.
All right, Erica, fucking talking shit in the chat. I saw that. What was it? They said, I feel okay at best. Come on, bro. Like, okay at best? Nah, this guy's good.
Yeah,
I wonder if
don't be
these guys know each
humble.
other. Guy,
Yeah,
gal, gal, guy. I don't know.
yeah. Let us know.
Gal, gal. Yeah, let us know. Mecha Blast. I like this this vibe of it. But all right. So do we have a description for it? Beep boop.
Beep boop.
All right. Beep boop. Mecha dot blast. It's a work in progress. It's by Erica. You ready?
Yep.
All right. No, I was talking about mine. What? No, you weren't. Are you sure? All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 52 minutes ago, they uploaded it.
Damn. Prototype.
Bro, what? This is like movie sounds. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is cool.
Just breathe.
Oh shit.
Open your eyes.
Nice.
Breathe.
I think I want that snare to be a little more.
Engaging rotary cannon. Target locked.
Nice. Filter sweeps.
Reload.
Wow, this reminds me of that Optimus Prime song. Is it Zed's Dead? Who does it?
Could be.
Optimus Prime. Except this is like way more bro steppy.
Is it? It might be. Dude.
Super cool.
Whoa.
Where do
Yeah.
you get these fucking noises of the robots and shit? You
Yeah,
make
this
it?
is like hardcore like sound design stuff. I'm like wondering if these two are like in like do you guys go to school for like music technology or something? Because
First of
it's
all, do you guys know
definitely
each other?
yes,
definitely
we want to
chemistry.
know that. We definitely want to know that.
That was cool,
Um,
man. I actually
she
made
made
that.
this.
No cap?
How did you
That's
make those
crazy.
sounds?
That's awesome. That was crazy.
Like actually, how
Um,
did you make those sounds?
That's like bro step fucking at a festival type shit where people are going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Um,
for real.
That was super cool. I think the only thing that I had, I just wanted the snare to be more punchy, have a little bit more weight to it, maybe punch me in the chest a little bit.
Yeah, I
But
could see a little bit of that, but I feel like
the
I've
only
heard
thing.
stuff. I've also heard stuff in this area that have comparable snare sounds, I think. But I
Sure.
also know what you mean. Like there are some that just have even punchier snares for sure.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
clanks and shifts and stuff is all drawers and so forth.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
What?
So do you like where did you learn this?
That's amazing.
Because most people, I mean, there are occasionally some people that learn to do that, but did you
Mhm.
like go to school for this or? Very
I'm the
curious.
DMB guy. Oh shit. Okay, sorry.
Super cool.
Just reading the chat. Yeah, that was super awesome, man. Do you want to go through it?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of respect for this because it's
Self-taught.
one
Ridiculous.
having the ear. Like, how the fuck do you figure
Wait,
out?
Erica, do you know the other guy, Zog? Since you're responding. All right, continue, John. Sorry.
Like how do you teach yourself to know which sounds are gonna? Do you just like try shit like recording silverware and then fucking with it? Because I mean, that's the hard way. That's super
Yes.
not
Okay.
easy, and there's a lot of respect for me for that.
Well,
For
what
sure.
about all of like talking to quiet? Like, was that you too? That was super cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
honestly, it's not often that we hear stuff, especially
this
in
is like
more
this is awesome.
yeah, especially stuff in more electronic genres that is original material, right? Like more often it's like finding samples and stuff. Which
Yeah,
which is fine,
yeah.
but I have to have a little bit more respect for like when you make everything yourself, right? It's like making something homemade versus like store bought or it's not quite store bought, but it's like getting major components of your meal and then putting them together versus making everything from scratch. Like that's super commendable. So
Yeah.
props to you for that.
This is another case where I'd like to display something like this. Like this is cool.
Yeah, dude, I was like, this could. I don't know if I necessarily feel like
Purple.
it's not really that. It's just that I don't know if I get as much of a like song vibe as I do like a really cool,
This is just a drop.
impressive, yeah, impressive like sonic thing, right? Like
Yeah,
it's um I don't know, like, it doesn't strike me as something that has the, like, radio-ish factor where it's, like, a song that would be really memorable,
yeah,
although I mean, I am sort of hearing it play back in my head, so I'm not saying it's not memorable, but, um, it might just be one of those things where it's not in the sort of, like, popular area, not
yeah,
I don't mean pop, but I mean, like, songs that are, like, more traditionally structured or whatever and have, like, vocals and a
yeah,
more clear structure.
yeah.
But that's not a bad thing, right? Like this is super dope, and I would listen to it again.
This
And
is
it's
for
for
live
live
too.
shows, which makes a lot of sense.
Bro, that's
Um,
fucking fire. I bet
so
this goes off.
I mean, my main it doesn't. It seems like it's not released yet. I think you wrote it's a work in progress. So
Yeah.
we can't really put it on the playlists anyways if it's not on streaming
Sure,
services.
sure, sure.
Um, but yeah, I mean, just to go through, I don't really have many comments on
No.
much here.
Vibes
So
green, content green. Content in purple because you made the shit yourself. That's ridiculous.
yeah,
It sounds awesome. Like sound design W. Production same way. It sounds like W. My only comment, was really it might even just be like a subjective thing because Josh thinks it's fine. I just wanted the snare to hit a little harder. That's all. I bet this shit goes off at parties. I think this is super awesome. I'm very impressed. Um, yeah, I would say this is solid green. Solid greens around,
yeah,
and you know, I would love to slap it on a playlist, but yeah, I
yeah,
understand Josh's thing, so that's where I'm at. What do you think, Josh?
yeah. No, it's green all the way through.
There, the one is kind of buried.
I think if it was released, it could be
Thank you.
a candidate for top tier track, and maybe if those just small things are cleaned up, especially like if something like pushes it even further,
Mhm.
then it definitely could be purple.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
it was
if this
just
comes across my SoundCloud feed, I'm liking it for sure.
yeah,
I'm
definitely. Like if just because
adding it
it's
to
not
mine.
released, I don't think it can be. But
Personal.
otherwise, good to go on most of those fronts, all of those fronts, pretty much.
Crazy.
And yeah, update us if you do release it or if you want to send us more stuff. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, or yeah, if there's some stuff like that it's like more of a song. Like we'd love to hear what you got because yeah, you
Yep.
put your money where your mouth is, and you and Zog got something special. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if you guys collab. But I think with that, that's probably gonna be our last song. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, it looks like I mean, I assumed this other one is we probably
So
wouldn't really have time.
we have DJ XO, we have Dark Matters, and we have York Nads, the boy. Just came in the chat, and unfortunately, we kind of cut things off at 7:30, but we got a lot of submissions today. So thank you very much for everybody submitting. Don't worry, we do get to every single song that is submitted, so we will eventually get to the song and we'll clip it so that you can see it on the Twitch channel. Until then, check back every stream when we do go live, and you guys will be the next in the queue. So the first one to go is DJ XO, next is Dark Matters, and then finally Yord Nads, and then whoever submits next week, or sorry, next time we stream. So we'll be off for the holidays for Christmas, which is next Saturday. So Friday's Christmas Eve. We won't be streaming, and then New Year's Eve is also Friday after.
Yeah, a
So
little bit of bad
we're
luck.
gonna be gone for a while. Sorry about that, guys, but it is what
Yes.
it is. We do have Discord as well. If you guys want to submit the songs there and give feedback to each other, that's always an option. You
Yep.
got some really good ears with Erica and Zog. If I could put them out there. Yeah, Sachi to Group 935. Sorry about that. Right, Avenged as well. Wait, Avenged is here, isn't he? I saw. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Dark
he's
Matters.
here. He's here.
Yeah, your Dark Matters, right? Looks like we have a bot here. All right. Thanks for the support. I'll see you later. All right. With that, do you have anything else to say, Josh?
No, it's been great to have all the new folks here and familiar folks. A lot of good vibes here, good energy.
Dig.
Lots of good tracks, a pretty good range of stuff. Looking forward to getting to the few that we've got on the queue here when we are back. And
Yeah.
again, just make sure that you either follow us on Twitch, could subscribe to us on YouTube, I believe, or follow us on Instagram. That stuff is all up in the bar up there.
Yeet.
And Discord link is in the chat if you guys want to, fuck around in there in the
Yeet.
meantime, then that'd be dope too. And yeah, other than that, we'll be back soon. Updates on Instagram, so that's kind of the most important one.
Yeet.
And yeah, thanks everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah. I saw Dre
Kwanzaa,
over
Hanukkah.
chat. I saw
Yeah.
New Year. I saw, everything, man.
Oh yeah.
Shouts out to you guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you in 2022.
Yup. See you then.
Yep. All right.
Peace out, folks.